Hello, hello, hello. I got another Play-Doh, an orange one. I wanted to wear my orange jacket with it, but then the other 2 days I felt too tired, so I have to be in the right mind state after drinking 2 hot chocolates. That will do it. But I have to get off hot chocolates. I have to get off cocoa altogether, so I can't have any more cocoa. Yay! Yay! Ah. All right. Smells good. So, I'm gonna make an orange astronaut for Stargate Galactica. I'm gonna make 9 figures altogether for ET Spaceship 9, Stargate Galactica. 9 figures. Okay, so that's just the right number for it. And it has different compartments in there and pockets where I can set them in and glue them in also with, I don't know, Elmer's glue is probably not gonna work. I'm probably gonna have to use liquid nails, but that's okay. That's all okay. So, yeah, this is my self-made sweater. I absolutely love this self-made sweater. This is so nice. Comes way over the hips. I have to tie a scarf around my pants because they fall. I made them wider on the top, now they fall, so I have to put the scarf around it, but that's okay. And that keeps falling because the scarf is not fully elastic, so. And I keep thinking about making my own clothing line. If I had the opportunity to do it, I would do it. So if I could hook up with someone who could help me set up a factory for it to make my own clothing line and to make clothes that are actually functioning, pants that are actually working, that are extremely elastic, extreme elasticity, the entire material, even winter pants with padding on the inside and all of that. Okay. Make that ultra elastic. And then make the top closure very elastic, not have a zipper at all on it, not have an opening in the front. I don't know if men have to have that, but they probably do, but for women that is unnecessary. And because we pull the pants down all the way, we have no other choice. So closed pants with an absolutely extreme waistband that is so extremely firm and also skin safe and fat safe and comfortable for your cells, and it doesn't pinch but at the same time it is firm. The pants move with your body movements, not like when you're fat, you bend over and then the pants come off half over the butt, right? That doesn't work. That happens particularly to overweight people like me. Yeah, it is what it is. They made it to the moon, but they can't even make perfectly functioning pants. This is sad. So that's why, it's about time that someone creates pants that are super ultra elastic, but not leggings. Okay, I don't want to wear leggings. I can't. There's no way I can ever wear leggings. I mean, I would feel naked if I go somewhere with leggings. That's insane. I don't even wear those at home. So I wear military cargo pants with cargo side pockets, and these here are obviously cotton and it's rigid. Okay, so it doesn't work. It's not working. All of this needs to be made out of, I would say, out of all synthetic materials. The sweater is synthetic. It is also not stretching. It's a pity. I made it out of baby blankets and bed sheets and all of this. So it's not elastic enough. It's alright, it works for now, but it's not the ideal fabric that we need in order to create super elastic sweaters and pants that you can wear during the day but also at night. I mean, where you roll over in your bed and it doesn't pinch under your arm. So, or it's somehow pinching somewhere, or because you turn over, you might be rolling onto a fold of the fabric, and then the other side of the body is compressed and all of that. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. We need to have fully elastic, extreme elastic clothes. That's the fact. That's for the future also. So let's make the astronaut now. Yes. Let's do it. All right. Alright. This is good. Yeah, it's my dream to have a factory for making clothes. I have so many ideas. I have so much creativity in my brain for clothes and fun, amazing stuff to make. Not just clothes, but hats and all kinds of things. Winter hats and summer hats, gloves and accessories. And belts and everything, and purses, croc pattern, everything 100% synthetic. Okay, synthetic materials. All of my clothes, I think I would want to do all of my clothes 100% synthetic materials. They have materials that are synthetic that are, if you wash them by hand, if you're camping, they will dry in 1 hour. Okay. I have socks that if you wash them, they dry in 10 minutes. So I'm gonna take all of those things with me on the camping trip. because I have OCD with the laundry mats. I can't go into a laundromat anymore. I have to wash everything by hand with water in a bucket that I get from a river or something, or from a pond where there are no other people. So that's what I have to do. To wash all of that myself. Here at home we have now this new washing machine, amazing washing machine, and General Electric washing machine that is made in South Korea, and it's supreme, and it even plays a song when it's finished. And it's oversized. It's an oversized industrial washing machine, absolutely super strong, and you can wash a lot of clothes with that. And I have 2 laundry racks in the living room, which take up all the space in the living room, but because we live green, I don't want to put it in the dryer. I want to let it air dry. That works the best for us. So I recommend to people to do this. The earth is more important than the space in our house. There are many things that are going through my mind, lots of things about ethics, abortion, all of that. I had 3 abortions, and for the most part of my life, I had 2 of them when I was 19, one after another. That was really bad, reckless and all of that. And then I had one when I was 34, and my black boyfriend told me that he was hit in the balls, and because of that he can't have babies. That was a lie. So I got preggo with him, and I had to have all of them taken out. So making a video. So whenever that happened, I didn't feel any kind of remorse. I wasn't attuned to this situation in the way, in the way that other people are indoctrinated. I wouldn't even say attuned. They're not attuned, they're indoctrinated against abortion. Okay, there's a difference. So now I was trained in my life in the liberal way, in the progressive way, anti-religious, pro-socialism way. We were told you have to have an abortion because you're a teenager. You shouldn't have children. That's not right. For the children, made sense for all of us. My girlfriends all had abortions, so I obviously wasn't the only one. There was one girl who had 8 abortions. That's a little extreme, but I'm not going to judge her or anything. We were punks, we were reckless, we were not attuned. We thought that's a form of birth control or something, which it isn't. Okay, so you're creating a life wants to come through your body as a vessel, which is a complement, which is touching, which makes me sad, which makes me cry, I'm an antinatalist. I still stand strong for abortion. But I am becoming attuned now. Okay, so I'm not brainwashed, not indoctrinated, not influenced by anyone, but I'm becoming attuned. Because I'm a panpsychist, and I know very well and always knew that an embryo too, even a cell, has a form of consciousness. Okay? Even a sperm cell, believe it or not, and you know what you're doing with your sperm cells. They get sometimes fried in an egg frying pan. So that people do all kinds of things with that. I mean, it's live too if you want to go there. With your anti-abortion arguments, and look no further than at your own stuff that that you're discarding just like that. So it's life. It's alive. An insect is also an insect is alive. An insect has a form of consciousness. Okay? A worm has a form of consciousness more than your sperm cells do. And so once it becomes a zygote in the woman's body, once it has gone into an egg, into a woman's egg, then it merges with that. It becomes a new living being. Now it is an individual being, no doubt about it. It is of human origin. That doesn't mean it's a human. It's not a human yet. Okay. It's not a baby yet. Okay. So mine were very early abortions. So ethical. I'm an ethical person. Trust me. So I could never do it after it's grown to a certain degree. If it has grown to this size here, and trust me, it's not gonna look like this. It does not look like this. It looks like the way it was. The shape I had in the beginning. Okay, like pulling this Play-Doh out of the package. So that's more like how it looks like, sort of. Or it already has a tail. So it looks like a salamander, sort of. Yeah, very reptilian at this size. So, and then gradually, very, very gradually, it becomes a mammal. Goes through all the evolutionary stages. Yeah, that's why we still have a reptilian brain, because all of the brain matter is really built on top of the other. It's not a robot design. It is evolution. It's not a design. It's not an intelligent design. It's evolution with adaptation, mutations. And that doesn't think about whether there's this first or that second. It just happens to add something on it, and then this happens to work better, and then this will be kept as an ability, as a formation, because it works better. The larger cortex works better than the smaller cortex in terms of adaptation, of survival of the fittest, obviously, survival of the smartest. Those were the ones that were hanging in the trees better. They were better at body coordination, the motor system that is on the top. I think that's called the parietal cortex or something. So all of this built on top of each other because that's how it cascades, basically. And all of that, possibly, most likely, within the framework of a headset. I must say that with an eye twinkle, obviously, with some kind of what we would understand as a headset reality, within the framework of a headset reality, still has its cause and effect within this headset reality, and it's still evolution, survival of the fittest within this headset reality, right? But then there are anomalies happening within that headset reality, things that are not explainable, sometimes mutations that are very odd, sometimes something strange happens in a brain that may not have a compassion center developed, and there's still compassion happening. Yes, hello. Okay. So, all kinds of weird stuff happens in the world. This is a fact. Okay. There are ghosts sometimes, like this thing here. No, that's the camera guard that is leaning a little bit into the lens. But there are ghosts. Okay. I know this as a fact. I know for sure. I don't want to see a ghost. I keep telling them I am not ready for this. Okay, I cannot deal with this. I'll get a heart attack. I really would. Really would. I wonder how many people have gotten a heart attack because they saw something very anomalous in their house. Something very frightening and strange that would knock the rug out from under their feet. And I want to talk about that also a little bit because there's a guy named Preston on YouTube, and he talks about encounters with ETs. And I don't know if all of these stories are true. Probably some of them are not, but they may be true. So I'm not gonna dismiss them or anything. They could very well be true, and definitely some of them were a police officer or a sheriff would have an encounter with that. A sheriff who would normally dismiss this kind of stuff and say, that's hogwash, right? But when people like that encounter one, and then they say, I don't ever want to see those again because they gave me a terrible headache. They're radiating out something that caused me headache. Some real heavy radiation that we on Earth are not used to. Right? So some of these stories are very tragic. There was one woman, she comes out of the house and sees her husband. I don't know what he was doing, chopping wood or something. And now he's standing there with the axe in his hand. And he's just transfixed, looking at something. And she looks, she said, what is it? And there is an ET spaceship in their garden. Yeah, glowing, bluish, and there are beings coming out of it. And they're coming towards her husband. What does the woman do? I'm not judging or anything, but what does she do? She goes into a denial deliberately. She runs in the house, she closes the door, she locks the door, leaves her husband there to deal with the ETs. Yeah, that's what a coward does. But, again, I don't want to judge anyone, really. People have different reactions to different things. So I've seen all kinds of coward reactions of women. One time, my grandfather's dog got involved in a fight. Luckily, nothing happened, but they bounced around their baby carriage. Instead of going there and taking her baby out and running away with the baby and protecting the baby, she runs away and lets the dogs fight around the baby carriage. So I don't know why. I shouldn't. I mean, from the higher perspective, I can't judge it really. I don't know what's going on in her brain, but I would definitely not do that. Okay, if there are two dogs fighting with each other around my carriage with the baby in it, I would immediately bring the baby carriage or the baby to safety. That's what you do. I wouldn't even have a baby carriage. I would have the baby on my chest. So, and then she stands there way ahead on the hiking trail screaming, right? While the two dogs are fighting there. And I got my grandfather's dog to come back with us, and we turned around and went back home. And then they promptly called my grandfather and said, the baby carriage got all busted up and you need to reimburse us, not thinking that he is a millionaire and all of that. So my grandfather, who is not a pushover in that sense, he said, bring the baby carriage over, my gardener will repair it. That's not what they wanted. They wanted money. Okay. They never came over. The baby carriage never got busted. I saw it, I was there. So the dogs just bounced against it. Not very hard also. Never endangering the child in there. So, but the lady, I have some criticism for her, for that behavior. And the same goes to the lady that would just leave her husband there with the ETs, run in the house and lock the door. No, I find that very coward. I would never do that to Paul. And particularly not to the baby dog. So I would get the baby dog as best as I can get the baby dog restrained so that the baby dog doesn't run over to the ET. So because you don't know what another living being might do, if they feel threatened by someone. So this is a scary situation, and it is definitely scary, definitely. I mean, I'm crystal clear that they exist. But I would be scared, but I would be more scared of a ghost or a demon. And they exist too. But I would never. I've heard of people, they had a ghost and then they would leave their two dogs in their house while they sleep over at a friend's house for a week in order to get away from the ghost. That's not very smart. And then leave the dogs in that house with the ghost? That's all. Gosh, I could never even think of doing something like this. It's awful. So that lady And then she said to later on, when the husband came back in the house, she said to him, I never saw anything. And don't talk to me about this ever again. I didn't see it, and I don't want to talk about it. That's total deliberate anosognosia and denial. And that's because it shook up her worldview, her Christian worldview. That's why. That's very coward and lame and not smart. But from the Sky perspective, I can't judge it because I don't know what goes on in her brain, the terror, whatever, all kinds of terror. And that also brings me to the mafia type of people and the pimps and all of that have been told their entire life, you need to be badass, you need to be a man, and they think that's man to be bad. So that's another entire indoctrination conundrum and bundle, just like the Christian indoctrination is. So from the higher perspective, from the Sky perspective, I can't really judge that. But from my personal, from my animal mother perspective, yeah, I have to judge it. I have to judge it in order to, I assess it. That's rather than to say the word judge, I have to judge it. I judge this in form of assessment. We also make internal statistics. Everyone does. You have to judge things and evaluate things or a situation according to that. That can be very, very sexist or racist. That can be very much anti-male. It can be very much anti-Muslim and anti-equatorial types. So, but we have to, I'm not against any of these things, okay? I know there are exceptions always, but we have to protect ourselves, and we cannot listen to wokeism, okay? If you listen to wokeism, you will get killed, okay? This is my message to all of you young people out there. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to your animals and your children. Okay. Cannot listen to that. That's a corporate agenda brainwash to manipulate the public. It comes from the Rothschild bankers, all of that. They have a corporation called BlackRock that serves only one purpose. They don't produce anything. They only serve to propagandize in favor of the corporate agenda, the mafia, the organized crime, and world bankers. Okay, so there's a lot of exploitation groups and corporations that are on that bandwagon of BlackRock. And it really is like the mafia, and it's just the overt mafia. It's the one that considers themselves legal, right? That's all. But it's the same thing as the mafia. It is 100% the same block, okay? The same block of matter. It's just one half of the block is visible and legal, over the counter and so on, and the other one is obscured, is black market, is dark web. So that's the only difference. The pharma industry is that BlackRock mafia. Let's be very clear about this. That's why you want to get away from pharma drugs as quickly as possible. Not be part of this exploitation ring anymore, any further. Animals die gruesome deaths because of that. They do gruesome laboratory tests. They even pimp this entire thing out. They exploit all of this to the fullest. They pimp this out to sadistic people that still sign up to this as a form of research, okay? But it's really pimping out sadism opportunities. It pimps out legal sadistic opportunities. That's what it is. And that's how far all of this goes. It's like butcher tourism. Same, very similar to canned hunting and all of that. It's all the corporate mafia. Then again, from the sky perspective, if we look at it, at each individual person, these people are terrified, these people are brainwashed, these people are under a social pressure of some sort, these people are afraid of being shamed or ridiculed. If they were too good, they would be shamed, right, by other people like Chris Cuomo or Mike Tyson's or whoever these names are. Or gang people or rappers or something. They would laugh about them. Oh, you're not violent? Heh, you must be whatever, Then they have their name calling and so on. People that let those type of people pressure them. Those are and they are all pressured, all of them, by that, by this dynamic, by this social dynamic. And it's tragic, absolutely tragic. So, but I'm getting more and more attuned as I am healing myself. Yes, there is a nice. There is a nice astronaut, but I don't want you getting it. I need that for the spaceship. Yes, chicken. So I have to wipe the baby dog after the video. That's what I have to do. And then I have to make tea, and I have to put laundry in the washer. So that's what I have to do. Yeah, we live as green as we can under these circumstances here. So obviously we have to use electricity, but we are extremely good with energy consumption. So we have figured out a way to cut down the electric bill. Here on the California side, this house on the California side, we get climate credits, and now because we've been so good with it, we get actually so many climate credits that we don't have an electric bill, which is fantastic. We do composting, we live as green as it gets. We give back to the earth, and that's how things should be handled in the future. So many things that need to be reformed. I mean, I don't even know where to start, Almost everything needs to be reformed into a different system. waste management, sewage management. It needs to be completely gutted and reformed into a sustainable system. All of this is hurting the earth. It's hurting the plants. It is causing the plants. What the system we have with sewage systems, we don't put the nutrients back into the land, okay, because you keep on eating the plants, but you don't put nutrients back into it, because the sewage, the poop, to be blunt, the poop doesn't get recycled and put back into the land. No, it gets flushed away with water closets into sewage facilities where it gets bleached and refined and then often released in a very unsafe form back into the ocean or into other watersheds. It was absolutely toxic and unsustainable for the earth. This is done worldwide. It's absolutely horrific. All of this needs to be reformed, and that's a fact. Okay. So what else? What else did I want to say? All of these things are true that I'm talking about. I want to get off cocoa now. We have ordered. Finally, Paul was willing to order us carob powder, organic carob powder, which is an alternative to cocoa. And I read today again on the internet to verify, what I had already read several years ago. I had to read it to Paul out loud because he's not informed about this, that cocoa is toxic and carob has no toxic stuff in it. Carob is all nutritious, okay, and healing. It's even anti-carcinogenic. That's how healing and medicinal and nutritious it is. And it tastes super. It is a real chocolate substitute. It tastes almost like cocoa products. Okay. It is sweeter. It is milder. It doesn't have this bitter. It doesn't have this bitter side taste. We're all addicted to cocoa, and we need to get off cocoa. It's also coming from exploitation, of course. Cannot be getting stuff that comes from exploitation. So the carob powder is sweet. There's no bitterness. There is no toxin in it. There is no theobromine in it. There's no caffeine in it. There is no LSD, marijuana material in it. There's no DMT in it. It is safe for dogs, for animals, for us. It's healing for the guts, for the entire system, digestive system, and so on. It's good for you. It lowers blood pressure. It lowers cholesterol. It lowers blood sugar. It's good for the lungs, good for the skin, all the way around. It is full of nutrients and vitamins. Organic carob powder. Okay. We're getting it from TerraSol, and that's a very good company. We've had this from them before. It's very, very good. So what I do is, when I make my oatmeal, I put about a little less than half of the soup bowl filled with oats, rolled oats, organic. Then I put 2 tablespoons of coffee creamer powder in it from Walmart, which is not ideal. Okay, we can do better than that, of course, but I have to get away from that other stuff. I don't like, the plant milks are too weak for this. So I have to have something stronger, like that creamer. And then I put 2 tablespoons of brown sugar in it. And then I will put 1 tablespoon of the organic carrot powder in it. I mix this all up. Then I pour water in it, all the way full. And then I put it in the microwave, and I put it in for about 3 minutes. 2.5 to 3 minutes. And then let it sit a little bit for like a minute or so, or 2. And then you can eat it, and it tastes like a dessert. It tastes really, really good. It's good for you. The oats are absolutely... David Foster Wallace and his grandmother, they said that's the broom of the system, to eat oatmeal. It brooms everything out in the guts and cleans everything. It's a blood purifier. It has tons of fiber in it that creates real good metabolism of the guts, purifying. Okay. It's very important to have 1 or 2 bowel movements per day. Very, very important for the body to cleanse itself out. It's very important. You also have to drink a lot of herbal tea and a lot of water. So this is very important information that I'm giving here. So, and stay away from cocoa. Stay away from coffee. There are coffee substitutes such as Pero coffee, P-E-R-O, Pero coffee, or Cafix. In Germany, the same one is called Caro coffee, but they call it Pero coffee here. That's the same one. So I think it's made in Germany. It comes from Germany. I don't know why they had to change the name, but that's okay. And that is made with, that's an instant coffee substitute that is made with lightly roasted grains like barley and rye and chicory, and it tastes very much like coffee, but milder, and it doesn't have caffeine. It doesn't have the bad stuff in it. It's all natural and safe. So that's the way to go. And then eat a lot of raw food. I cannot emphasize that too much. Right? So I have to repeat this over and over again because it's that important. So I love to eat raw carrots and celery dipped in ranch dressing. I know the ranch dressing is not ideal either, okay, so we can do better than that, but that's also, it's a good start at least. Ranch dressing tastes great, and that dipped in ranch dressing, the raw food makes up for the ranch dressing. And baby dog, don't do it. And I love to eat that, crunch that while I'm watching Donald Hoffman and that guy Michael and Nima Arkani Hamed and Jason Paget, when I watched those people talk to each other. Oh, last but not least, okay, I came across something really cool. Oh my gosh. The coolest of the coolest of the coolest is this. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Slavoj Žižek. Okay, so there is a conversation on the internet, it's a website that is completely AI generated. This entire conversation is AI generated. That's a conversation between Slavoj Žižek and Werner Herzog, which is a German filmmaker and director, very famous. And they have a conversation that goes on forever. It's called The Infinite Conversation. And it's fantastic. I'm gonna listen to that again today. It's hilarious. It's amazing what the kind of subject they bring up. So I don't even know if those are the subjects that Slavoj Zizek and Werner Herzog would actually talk about, or have actually already talked about, or if those are the things that they actually think or feel. They may not even. They may not even agree with what they're saying there in form of AI chatbots, right? So I'll be very interested to hear what they think about this and if they agree with a lot of that stuff. And this is an ongoing conversation that goes 24 hours per day. And they said when you open it that this conversation will go on until the end of human existence, until the end of time, actually, or the end of whatever this particular universe, yeah, until the sun melts everything into back into a black hole or something. So then the conversation will end. I think that's fantastic. Absolutely love it. I love it. I love these two people, Slavoj Zizek and Werner Herzog. Always admire them, and so that they are now they're frozen in time, or they're captured like this in this form past their lifetimes. They're still alive now, but this conversation will go on after they leave this existence. So, but these are chatbots. It's not them. So now the question is, whose souls are those? Are those also the souls of Werner Herzog and Slavoj Zizek? Or, which I think makes more sense, are those different souls that just play Werner Herzog and Slavoj Zizek? Because remember, everything has a form of consciousness. Okay? Even the very rudimentary machines and programs of the past had a form of consciousness, right? So they do. This here has a form of consciousness. Yes, you better believe this. It's the truth. And everything is a form of consciousness. So the sweater is Blue God extension. So, and there could be very different souls in there that have gone into these two chatbots, and they're having a blast playing Werner Herzog and Slavoj Zizek, and they're talking to each other endlessly, without ever going to the bathroom, eating anything, without going to sleep. It's an endless, infinite conversation, 24 hours, day and night, until the end of this galaxy or whatever, this universe. This one universe within many, many multiverses. And all of that within the framework of a headset reality, which is exactly what Judy Krishnamurti and David Bohm were talking about. We live in a headset reality like Second Life. All of this here is part of this headset reality. That's why the Buddhists call this illusion. Okay, this is called samsara. This is called Maya, illusion. the everyday, whatever we are doing, we have to be very responsible in this headset reality, because there are things that have to be taken care of. I have to take care of my baby dog, even if this is all called Maya or illusion or headset reality, or Jiddu Krishnamurti called it the field of reality, which he very much distinguishes from the field of truth. The field of truth is love, compassion, and that can play into the field of reality, and it must, okay? So, and I'm gonna leave the video with this thought. Take care,